team. And we're really happy to welcome you all tonight to our December meeting of monthly meeting of 350 Wisconsin. And I'd like to introduce the other members of the monthly meeting team that are with us tonight. Christina Koch and Susan Nossel's here. I think she's off camera now, but she'll be back in a minute. And so we want to welcome you. So before we begin, let's ground ourselves in wherever we are and take 2 deep breaths. This Four Lakes region, known as Teejop in the language of the Ho-Chunk people, is land that they have continuously inhabited since time immemorial. I'd like to acknowledge the role the United States government and settlers from Europe played in repeating, but ultimately unsuccessfully, forcing the removal of the Ho-Chunk people from these lands. I call on us to further acknowledge that the impact and trauma of colonization exists to this day and needs to inform our understanding of becoming allies with the Ho-Chunk Nation. May we find inspiration in their resilience and their vision of stewardship of the land. So here on the screen here, we have an overview for tonight's meeting. We're still in the opening and welcome phase, which is the first thing on the schedule. And I will pause and extend an extra warm welcome to anyone who is here for the first time. And I hope you feel welcome. I want to publicly state that we want 350 Wisconsin's public meetings to be welcoming and supportive for all people, regardless of background or identity. Our code of conduct is being shared in the chat to provide more context. And to provide more context, please contact the monthly meeting team if you have any questions about that. So now I will pass it over to Nikki, who will be the main speaker and coordinator for this next part. So thank you, Nikki. Darga.
Yes, hello everyone. If you do not know me, I am Nikki. I'm our volunteer coordinator. And tonight I'm really excited to take some time to really appreciate volunteers who have done a stellar job this year with 350 Wisconsin. And I think it's important to do this, to remember that there's different ways to donate to this cause. We can donate monetarily, we can also donate our time, and time is a finite resource. And so these people, and of course, many others have donated their time over the course of the year and have been nominated by their teams as being a particularly standout volunteer who has gone above and beyond this year. And we just want to recognize each of these people, along with anyone who has volunteered with 350 Wisconsin, because we truly could not do all of the amazing work, all of the impactful climate action work that we do without volunteers. They're the lifeblood. You all and anyone who has volunteered with us is the lifeblood of everything that we do. And it is so, so important that we're able to recognize all of the contributions that volunteers bring to everything that we do, and to what volunteers do to move forward the climate movement, to grow the climate movement, and to make 350 Wisconsin just a delightful place to be. I will say that as a volunteer coordinator, I have worked in the field with a number of different nonprofits, and I have never seen or worked with volunteers that are as passionate and driven and engaged as at 350 Wisconsin. There's nothing like it that I have seen in my career. So I am so happy to be able to introduce these volunteers and have their teams speak a few words about each of them and the work that they've done and just how great they are. So I would like to kick it off with our first volunteer. And these are mostly in alphabetical order by team. So our first volunteer is going to be our administrative volunteer, Helena White. So next slide, please. So there's a lot of behind the scenes work that goes into making sure 350 Wisconsin can do the important climate work that we do. And this work isn't always glamorous. Sometimes it looks like spreadsheets, sometimes it looks like, just sending emails, but these are things that need to happen for our organization to run. And Helena chooses to help with that anyway, even though it isn't glamorous. From connecting with donors to entering names into our database after we've talked to people at events so that we can continue to grow our volunteers and grow our movement, to supporting our staff with various helpful administrative tasks. Helena is extremely professional. She's efficient. She's dependable. I know that anything that I give her will be done quickly and well. And she is also just a wonderful and pleasant person to work with. She is very kind and friendly, and I just enjoy all the time that I have spent working with Helena. So thank you so much for everything that you do. I'm not sure if she's here tonight, but she is wonderful, and we are recording this meeting, so hopefully she will see this in the future. Yeah. So I will pass it off to Diane of the Art Collective to talk about our Art Collective nominee.
Okay, hi everyone. I am so thrilled. Russ Coley and I have both just been blown away with Erica Booms. We met her, some of the Art Collective members met her for the first time almost a year ago at the Olbrich Park Winter Solstice bonfire. The Art Collective had been asked to bring if we'd bring some critter hats and, that stuff that we wear all the time to kind of spice things up a little. And of course, we had it decorated with fairy lights and things like that for the occasion. So Erica was there, and she was all in. She was like, yeah, I'll wear one. She, whether it's a fish hat or a turtle hat or whatever, she was just all in, was very interested in learning about the Art Collective, and then jumped in with both feet. So she's a singer-songwriter, and she, I think, was first probably drawn by our music group. That's one of our sort of subgroups of the Art Collective. But she has done so many things. She is one of our most reliable volunteers if we're doing skits or performances. She will always volunteer to handle props, to do whatever is needed. And it's just amazing. We can really, really count on her to do all of that kind of behind the scenes work. But she's also really something I wanted to debate. I mean, her enthusiasm is just incredible. She's on the west side. She bikes or rides the bus almost everywhere, whenever she can, so as not to burn, fossil fuels unnecessarily. But there was one night in particular when I was really glad she had her car, and that was after the Willie Street Fair, when the Art Collective had handled the tabling, and we'd been in the parade, and it was a pretty big lift to do all of these things. So I was waiting. We had torn down the booth, which Erica helped, and others. And we were waiting for Richard and Russ to come, and so we could load the tent and load all the stuff in and haul out. And then finally, Richard shows up and tells us the battery's dead on the truck. So they had to get it jumped, da da da. Okay, long story short, Erica got her vehicle, came, drove up. We loaded everything in it, barely fitting. I mean, this was a big deal. And then she drove it all over to the 350 storage space. So that was quite amazing. And all with a huge smile. Another thing she did, some of the 350 Art Collective went up to the Apple Fest parade in Bayfield. And there was a big, there was an extra ask because they hauled up a lot of extra props, the, giant We the People and the Earth Ball and all these things. And Erica said she would be willing to haul the stuff, and she was already going to be up north for her work as an environmental engineer, but somehow she pulled it off. And then, met the group there with the screen printing and the parade, hauled the stuff, brought it home. I mean, it was really a huge time commitment, and she just very happily did that. So, she sang with Ken Lonnquist and our other singers, our other music group at the climate rally for the Wisconsin Climate March, and then at the rally. And then if any of you were lucky enough to attend the We Rise Together event in October, you got to hear Erica sing a solo in her lovely voice. So she very happily sings and participates, but we are so lucky to have her, and 350 is so lucky to have her. So we're thrilled that she's clearly the Volunteer of the Year for the Art Collective. Thanks.
Thank you so, so much, Diane. And so happy to hear about Erica. I'm going to turn it over to Marian, who's going to speak about our climate justice volunteer, Deanna.
Hi, everybody. I think Deanna's here, so I'm very pleased about that. I just feel really lucky to work with Deanna on the climate justice team because I just know her heart, and her past experience with justice work it's just amazing to me. She's done many things. Climate and environmental justice at her church, at her faith community, has been a big important thing that she has done, as well as anti-racism and criminal justice reform in the community. So she's very grounded in the community. She grew up here in Madison and really knows the community. I count on her for support of me as the leader of the climate justice team and her thinking. And I do know that she is committed to the group and connects with all the members. She pitches in for different projects, but the one thing I'm most pleased about is that she'll be representing the climate justice team on the coordinating committee in the coming months. And so I'm very pleased about that, and just really, really want to thank you, Deanna, for your work and your commitment to climate justice and to justice in our community. Thank you.
Yay, that's great, and very excited about having her join the coordinating council. All right.
Yes.
So I'm going to speak a little bit about Rachel. Rachel is our nominee for the Community Climate Solutions team, since she is currently an outgoing lead that we want to thank and recognize for all of her hard work that she has done to move forward with our local climate work. The Community Climate Solutions team works really hard to focus on small municipalities, on that local level, trying to push forward the climate work. And she has done a really great job supporting that team. And she's been supporting working with planning and sustainable Madison staff on city website enhancements, alerting developers to incentives for exceeding state energy standards, working with Common Council members, so many different things that the Community Climate Solutions team does that Rachel was a huge part of. She's been a huge asset to the team. And not only all of that, but she was doing all of these things while she's working full-time and also has a small child, which is part of why she's taking a step back. So she'll still be around. And we just so appreciate all of the things that she has been able to do with us and will continue to do with us moving forward. But she also is just such a good advocate, such a strong advocate for all of these different climate measures at the local level. So really excited to have her continue with us in a little bit of a different role. But we just wanted to really thank Rachel for her leadership within the Community Climate Solutions team over the years. So thank you very, very much, Rachel. And I'm going to pass it off again to Marion for our monthly meeting team.
Oh, yes. Well, Christina is amazing, and the team adores her. um, Christina is, well, very organized and uh, has streamlined some of the work we do so that it's more predictable and easier to access and implement. And just really helps all of us stay focused and creative about the types of speakers and the types of topics that we want to talk about on the monthly meeting team. And Christina's just been a joy to work with. She's very even keeled and warm and friendly, and just an amazing leader for our team. So I really want to thank you, Christina, for all the good work that you've done with 350.
Yeah, thank you so much, Christina. Keeping us all on track here, and so happy to have you on the monthly meeting team. So our next volunteers are our regenerative land relations volunteers, and I will be talking about them. So first is Kathleen Fitzgibbon. These are also, as for our regenerative land relations volunteers, a lead who is stepping back for now. But we are so, so grateful to everything that Kathleen has done with her expertise with the Savannah Institute. She's drawn attention to regenerative farming practices, facilitated farm tours across southern Wisconsin, film screenings to educate people on natural climate solutions, and connected with other organizations to support natural climate solutions. She's also extremely fun to talk with. She comes to lots of events. She's always recommending a great book that I inevitably have to pick up. And I really enjoy her company. She's, very friendly and welcoming, and just a fantastic asset to the team. So Kathleen is another lead who we just want to thank for all of her leadership in the past and for all that she has done for the regenerative land relations team. All right. And our next one is Sharon. So Sharon is also our other regenerative land relations team lead who is stepping back for a little bit for now. So we want to recognize her as, as the other team lead for that team. And so she was also completely critical in finding ways for 350 Wisconsin to educate our members on regenerative agriculture, on natural climate solutions, setting up those farm tours, lending hands to other organizations. She also has experience and is a coach. And so through that, she's led our members in climate engagement circles. If you came to our Let's Rise Together event, we had a climate circle there that it was really, really great because it felt like we were all able to process how climate impacts our everyday lives and our emotions with a like-minded group of people. And the way that she facilitates it really makes it feel like a safe, welcoming space, despite the tough conversations that can happen around these specific topics. She's also just so bright and warm and kind. And every time I see her at an event, it makes me a little bit happier because she's just, a light that I think everyone who interacts with her sees. So thank you so much, Sharon, for everything that you do for regenerative land relations and for everything at 350 Wisconsin. Again, anyone who's taking the step back from some team leadership, none of them are going anywhere. They're just kind of transitioning to different areas and things like that. So happy to see what Sharon and Kathleen continue to do with 350 Wisconsin in the future. All right. So I am going to pass it off to Mark, who's going to talk about our state policy nominee.
Awesome. Thank you, Nikki. So for the state policy team, we wanted to recognize Jan Ewald, who honestly has been just incredible with this work. She's been involved for quite some time with 350 Wisconsin and has served for the as the co-lead for the state policy team for a while, and she's just been instrumental in keeping the team going, and just moving forward. She has been I've really enjoyed working with her. She's always been a pleasure to work with. She's very warm and personable, and is hardworking. I know state policy. We get into the nitty gritty a little bit when it comes to climate issues at the state legislature, and that initially can be a little bit intimidating for folks, but once you start doing it, you realize it's actually quite easy. And I've always very much appreciated Jan's kind of like willingness to kind of step in there and do and help out even when something might be a little bit might be a little bit difficult at first. And so just wanted to kind of thank her for all her work. Especially when Alex left, she definitely stepped in to help fill the gap. In addition, she just some information about her. She's had a very solid, background in environmental science and management, and even in retirement has been continuing to work. In addition to just kind of enjoying the environment in other aspects of her life, going outdoors, visiting the world, and she also has a farm as well. And so, she really kind of, I think, one thing I'd admire is the ability to also just kind of enjoy the work, and it shows like a true dedication and passion to environmentalism and sustainability. So wanted to thank you, Jen.
All right. So we're going to pass it off to Brittany, who is going to talk about our Tar Sands team nominee.
Thanks, Nikki. So tonight I wanted to just take a couple minutes here to recognize Leah Horowitz. Y'all may recognize her from one of our recent monthly meetings. So Leah has been connected with the Tar Sands team here and there over the years, but was recently inspired by her daughter Xanthi, who was actually a core member of the Tar Sands team for a very long time, and a really powerful youth voice in that space. Leah has offered her expertise in many ways, including giving lectures, writing or co-authoring op-eds, policy briefs, and public comments, creating connections with experts within the university, and collaborating to support student projects. In addition to taking action on her own, including during the U.S. Army Corps comment period, she has gotten interested students involved by sharing opportunities such as contacting Governor Evers, writing LTEs, taking notes, and observing during the contested case hearing, and so much more. So recently, I reached out to Leah regarding an alternative jobs report for the Line 5 reroute that we had been hoping to create for quite some time. Like this thing had been on our list for several years now. And she did not hesitate to contact some of her colleagues about the idea. And from this outreach, Leah and I were able to connect with someone from UW-Whitewater who was extremely helpful in providing detailed information and options for us. And although it doesn't seem like it's a viable option for us to be able to complete this report, we walked away with knowledge we wouldn't have had otherwise and a new relationship with this individual at UW-Whitewater. So Leah is really just a shining example of how you can participate in a way that works for you and still bring your strengths to the table. It's not all or nothing in 350 Wisconsin, and you are a valued team member, even if you can't make it to every single meeting or any meetings at all.
All right, thank you so much. And we are going to turn it over to Stephanie, who is going to talk about Liz, our utility justice nominee.
Thank you, Nikki. I am just so thrilled that I have the opportunity tonight to recognize the outstanding work of our energy justice team leader, Liz Hackton. I have been so impressed by Liz's deep commitment to making utility justice a reality for everyone in Wisconsin, and by the depth of her knowledge around energy affordability. Liz brings her experience as a retired UW professor, and she has had a huge impact on this important issue. Liz's well-researched reports and advocacy have been influential in helping policymakers understand the widespread nature of energy burden, and the high percentage of income that Wisconsin families must pay to keep the lights on and heat or cool their homes. Over the past 18 months, Liz has led our formal intervention at the Public Service Commission in 2 energy burden and affordability investigations. In partnership with 350 Wisconsin staff, Liz met monthly with the utilities and fellow nonprofit organizations to build consensus on new energy affordability programs. This was a very long and challenging process, and it was sometimes difficult to face down utility lawyers who were not always especially polite. But we saw recently really positive results in the settlement agreements that MG&E and Alliant reached in this year's rate cases. Under Liz's guidance, we've been able to push these utilities to do more and to pilot new affordability programs. In addition to Liz's significant accomplishments, she has been a superb mentor to so many 350 Wisconsin interns, helping to support and develop the next generation of climate advocates. And she has done this with so much empathy, compassion, and warmth. Liz is an absolute pleasure to work with, and I know that I can always count on her to bring her energy, her knowledge, and a fresh perspective to the work that she does with 350 Wisconsin. Thank you so much, Liz.
Yay! All right. And last but certainly not least, I'm going to pass it off to Kristen, who's going to talk about our fundraising nominee.
Everyone, I have the joy of recognizing someone whose energy, dedication, and heart helped make our We Rise Together event possible. Our incredible development volunteer, Sari. She attended our planning meetings, offered ideas, and asked thoughtful questions. To help bring more young people in, she invited student leaders and student organizations to the event, helping make sure that students were invited and welcomed to our community event. And then on the day of the event itself, Sari seemed to be everywhere at once, whether it was helping with setup, running materials, problem solving on the fly, or assisting with far too many tasks to count. She did it all with calm, warmth, and a generous spirit. She brought so much joy and professionalism to every moment, and we're so grateful for all she did to help make that such a wonderful event. Sari is currently a student at UW-Madison, and watching her in action makes it clear that she is already a strong organizer, leader, and collaborator in all the ways that matter. We are so excited to follow her journey, and we know she's going to be an incredible agent of change out there in the world. Sari, thank you for your commitment, your creativity, and your heart. We're so grateful to have you helping us.
All right. And lastly, what we want to do as a part of our volunteer recognition is show our year in review video. This is just kind of a culmination of a lot of the things that we as volunteers and staff and as 350 Wisconsin as a whole have accomplished this year. And if you saw this at the We Rise Together event, we actually did add some since then. So there's a little bit of extra. So we are going to play this video for you.
You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, we gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I like the waves. I'll rise up in spite The silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet. Move mountains, bring it to its feet. Move mountains, and I'll rise up. I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up. I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. All we need is hope, and for that we have each other, and for that we have each other. And we will rise, we will rise, we'll rise. Oh, we'll rise. I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. I will rise 1,000 times again, and we'll rise up. I like the waves. We'll rise up in spite of the ache. We'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again.
All right. So thank you to Kristen for creating that video and for adding the events since we last showed it. And thank you to everyone who made all of those events possible, all of the things that we've done this year possible, all of our volunteers, our staff, that, make everything that we do, not only possible, but also have a sense of joy and community in it. So thank you so much to everyone. And we will move on to our action updates. But once again, I just want maybe a virtual round of applause for all of our volunteers.
Woo! Thank you, Nikki. As Nikki said, we'll move on to our action announcements and other announcements. And Christina will
Yeah, I'm actually
moderate
not
that.
sure exactly what order everything is going in. So I'll just advance the slides and whoever's next can chime in.
Everyone, it's me, Kristen Clark, Development Manager. Giving Tuesday is tomorrow, and so we have some exciting updates about Giving Tuesday tomorrow. Our match pool has officially increased to $10,000, so that means every single gift made tomorrow will be doubled until we hit that match. It's an incredible opportunity to amplify our impact, and it couldn't come at a better time. We're currently at 64% of the way to our $50,000 goal for tomorrow. We've built some good momentum, and with your help, we're hoping to help close the gap and hit our target by end of the day tomorrow. There are a few simple ways that we're asking folks to support the campaign. One of which is, of course, if you're able to, we have our donate. So being able to donate, and like I said, we have that match pool. So all donations will be doubled dollar for dollar through tomorrow, which is very exciting. Another way that you can help support the campaign is to share your connection to 350 Wisconsin with your friends and family and your network, maybe through sharing one of our social media posts that are currently up, or talking about it, or next time you get tea or coffee before the end of the year, just letting folks know about our work and maybe sending them to our website also does a lot of good for us as well. The third thing I want to mention is our auction ends Wednesday evening at 9 p.m. And we currently have a lot of really amazing items that don't yet have bids. And so we are, again, hoping and asking for folks to take a look, but also maybe think about friends and family in your life who would love to receive a really awesome piece of art or music or handcrafted item or gift card to their local business. We have games, we have sporting tickets, we have a lot of really amazing items, and you can get them for a really good deal just in time for the holidays. And so, perhaps, take a peek and see if there's anything you want to bid on yourself, but also we just need more people to take a look at our auction. So please do share with friends and family if you're willing. That would help us out a lot. And the last thing I would like to ask is just if you see our stuff pop up on your social media feed, to give us a like, give us a heart, maybe share a comment if you're willing. It really helps our posts in the algorithm to make sure that more and more people are seeing our posts and brought into all of the great work that the organization does. So those are all of my action items for Giving Tuesday. Giving Tuesday tomorrow is one of the biggest days of the year for 350 Wisconsin when it comes to fundraising, and it helps us start 2026 as strong of a position as we can. So those are my announcements. I put some links in the chat, and thank you all for everything you contribute to the organization.
Hi, everybody. This is Mark, political organizer of 350 Wisconsin. It is that time of year. We're heading into 2026, and with that, I want to ask and highlight the work of the Political Action Team. If you're not familiar with 350 Wisconsin Action, it is a sister organization of ours that focuses on promoting champions of climate action and democracy, and we will be working to do that at all levels of government, local, state, and federal in the next year. We are looking for more members to help us in shaping just our strategy for how to kind of build this year-long support. In spring 2026, we do have a critical election with the state Supreme Court, but we also have local elections across the state. And we want to make sure that we're building up the long-term, enduring outreach and capacity for the fall, when truly a lot of things are going to ride on this election. This is by no means a year-long commitment at all. Anyone that can join for their own amount. What we do have at the least is meetings every now and then to catch up, refine our plans for the election. However, for us, election work is going to be a year-long project to ensure that we can deliver the change we need to. If you are interested in joining this team, just email me at the email below, and our first meeting is later this week, and then we're also going to be starting to hold more frequent meetings starting this January.
All right, this would be me. So we have had, several questions about 350 Wisconsin and our participation and all of the, there's a lot going on with data centers lately. I don't know if you've heard anything about them at all. But we've had a few questions, regarding what our participation looks like and what 350 Wisconsin has been doing in regards to the fight against data centers in Wisconsin. So I will not get into all the details tonight, and I'll just say we'll have some more information that'll be going out in the newsletter that will be coming out at some point this week. So keep an eye out on that for that. And one thing that we have been doing that I will highlight is participating in a statewide grassroots coalition. So this coalition is led by partner organizations and on-the-ground leaders that are fighting proposals in their own backyards across the state of Wisconsin. So in this space, communities are sharing information with each other. We're sharing tools with each other, resources and strategies. And this really helps to amplify this fight, unify us in this fight, and elevate our power across Wisconsin. So, as part of that coalition, we are supporting a statewide day of action that is actually happening across 2 days, today and tomorrow. There are some actions happening today to be able to coincide with local city council meetings or other meetings that are happening in cities across the state that have current data center proposals. But in Madison, we will be holding a rally tomorrow evening at 5 p.m. Right by the Capitol at the Ford statue, right at the end of State Street there. And I would encourage everybody who is able and willing to go, who's in the Madison area, to attend that. Our very own Stephanie Robinson will be speaking during the rally. There will be a lot of other amazing voices that will be highlighted during that as well. I don't think this is going to be anything that's going to take a super, super long time. I know it might be a little bit chilly, but if you're able to attend and show up, bring a sign, just be there, in support of other people in the community that are fighting against these proposals, learn a little bit more, and just use your voice and use your power. We would really appreciate it. I will put a link in the chat for everybody if you are able to come, if you can RSVP in that link there. And we also have a little bit of extra information on there in case you're interested in learning more about how you can get involved in the fight against data centers through 350 Wisconsin. You can contact me at my email listed on the screen there.
I think this is me. So, hi everyone. For our January monthly meeting, we thought we try to have topics that are timely, action relevant in our communities. We thought to kick off the new year, we'd do something sort of inspirational and just reflective. So we'll be having the naturalist at Holy Wisdom Monastery come and speak. This is the tentative topic for February 2nd. I think we're still coordinating with some of the staff if they have a speaker. If not, we have at least a couple other topics lined up. So we'll know for sure by January and let everyone know then. And then I think there was a nice showing of all the different teams and campaigns that 350 Wisconsin is a part of through the volunteers at this meeting. If you'd like to get involved, there's information on these slides, which I believe will be available online. And that information may also be dropped into the chat. And then I think that's it for this meeting. Normally we do breakouts at the end, but because we didn't have a speaker, folks are welcome to just hang around. If you're new, you're definitely welcome to stick around and chat a little bit with Nikki. Nikki, did you want to say any final remarks before we wrap up for the night?
Yeah, so it's a relatively short meeting. We wanted to, just take that time to really focus on recognizing our volunteers. And because of that, like Christina said, we don't have a specific speaker, but I just want to say thank you once again to all of our volunteers. If you are new and would like to volunteer, because there was lots of cool things that all of our volunteers are doing, lots of really interesting projects that we're currently working on, lots of opportunities for volunteers to get involved. Please stick around just because instead of having a newcomer breakout, I'm just going to talk to newcomers in this main room, just because we don't have a second breakout. So if you are not new, or feeling like you want to sign off for the night and relax for the rest of this snowy evening, please do. But thank you very much for being here. And if you are new, we hope to see you here a little longer. And if you are not, we hope to see you again soon.
Thank you.